Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire if you are new, and thank you so much for joining me today. I feel like it's been a long time since we have just done a sit down chit chat, get to know me, catch up on life, and tell you guys some things about what has been going on in my life. I recently announced on my other social platforms that I started a business, and I wanted to take the time to kind of explain a little bit more about what that is and what I'm doing, the behind the scenes of that, give some life updates, talk about dating, talk about, my relationship a little bit more, what I have going on and things that I'm looking forward to, and social media overall. I feel like there's so many new people, not only on this platform, but also on my other platforms that have joined me this year, and I'm so thankful and so honored. And I just wanted to kind of give you guys some more info about me. I am fully in the fall mode, if you can't already tell. I wanted to kind of set the vibes just a little bit for this video, so I lit my pumpkin cupcake candle, which I got this past weekend. I'm wearing this new long sleeve top from Princess Polly. Use code ClaireXO for 20% off. And then also I just went to Starbucks and got a latte. Now let me tell you the best fall drink that they have. You get an iced latte, whatever size, half white chocolate, half pumpkin spice. I think it's way too sweet with all of the pumps of syrup. So normally I will get half the syrup or add an extra shot of espresso or both. And so it is the best drink. I did not want whip. No, normally I say no whip, please. But they did add whip on here, which is totally fine. It's the best drink. If you're feeling a little crazy, add some pumpkin cream cold foam. It's so good, but I just love this drink. I woke up this morning and there was like a small chill in the air, and the pumpkin spice came back this week. And so I'm just like fully ready for fall. I'm so over summer. But yeah, that is like totally like where my mindset's at right now. But I wanted to just kind of do a little sit down, kind of catch you up on everything that's been going on in my life. I have had so many opportunities come my way this year, such as starting a new business. And I wanted to talk about all the things that like led up to that, because I feel like YouTube is my comfort place. It is where I am the most vulnerable. It's where I talk the most. It is the original platform that I really started with. It is my biggest platform, and I'm so thankful for every single person that has watched a video, pressed that subscribe button, given a video a thumbs up over the years, commented on a video. You have no idea how much that little action of yours has impacted my life so greatly. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that too. But okay, let's chat. So I have been doing social media for 7.5 years. I feel like I have so many videos on here where I go in depth about how I got started. I started in college, started posting YouTube videos in 2018. I think it was March of 2018. Really focused on makeup and beauty at first. I wanted to be like the big influencers like Jaclyn Hill, Laura Lee, Desi Perkins, Katie, Makeup Shayla, Jackie Aina, all of these big YouTubers. I just loved their life. I love following them. And so in college, I was like, let me set out to do that. And obviously my content shifted because I was not like this makeup artist anyway. Also posted a lot of college content, and then it kind of turned into working vlogs when I started working full-time in 2019. And since then my content has kind of just evolved, and at the time YouTube was the main influencer platform. If you wanted to be an influencer, you had a YouTube channel. Now you have platforms like Instagram and TikTok, but I will always tell every single person out there that YouTube is my favorite. YouTube is my baby. I just love YouTube. I feel like it's so real, and it will always be that way for me. And even though I have not given it as much time as I should have over the last couple of years, I really want to bring that back. I just miss these like cozy long form chatting vlogs. When I'm getting ready, I like to have YouTube on in the background, and I will just listen to some of my favorite comfort vloggers. I think it is just so relaxing having YouTube on, and I feel like as a society we have just gotten used to scrolling and fast form content, and I just feel like we need to bring back the long form content, honestly. So I won't spend too much time talking about my YouTube history. Instead, I want to talk about my present and my future. So I recently announced on Instagram and TikTok that I started a business, and that business is called Postworthy. So I wanted to talk about what led to that, how we got here, and I feel like I can only say so much on these other platforms, but on here I can kind of dive into it a little bit more. So basically, I have lived in Birmingham, Alabama for the last almost 4 years. I've been telling everybody it's been 3 years, but I just realized that it is September, and I moved here in November of 2021. I met my boyfriend in September of 2021 and then moved here a few months later, and then we started dating in January of 2022. So we have been together, basically it's been almost 4 years since we met. Oh, I need to remind him of that. Like next week or in 2 weeks, it's going to be 4 years. But I am so obsessed with him. He's amazing. He's literally my biggest supporter on this planet. I'm so in love with him. He's awesome, which I'll talk about him too in a little bit. We'll talk about relationships and stuff. But I basically, with all of that being said, we have been so involved in Birmingham for the last 4 years. You know, we're involved in intramural kickball. He runs his own kickball league. He's involved in so many different sports. We're involved in like YP Birmingham, which is Young Professionals of Birmingham. We are involved in so many different things. And we used to live downtown Birmingham. And with that, we got to go to so many different restaurants and bars and places, but we did not take advantage of it the way that we should. We never really documented it. We just lived it. We were doing something literally every day after work, and every weekend we were gone out and about because we could like walk to everything. Then our apartment got overturned with mold. Is that the proper word? We had mold in our apartment. It was so bad. The apartment complex was horrible. I want to out them so bad. I'm literally telling people like I'm waiting on my platforms to get large enough with Birmingham followers so I can make sure that all of Birmingham knows who this apartment complex is, because they literally tried to ruin our entire life. Like, I'm not even being dramatic. I lost all of my furniture. Pretty much all of the furniture that was in there was mine, because it was things that I had since I was 16, 17 years old, and we could not take it with us because it had been exposed to really toxic mold, and it was the worst thing ever. I could do a full story time. Let me know if you're interested in that and if you want to know more about that complex. But we tried to sue. Mold laws in Alabama are just like non-existent, and so it was really hard to make a case. So it was just, we didn't have anybody to talk to, anybody helping us with this, and so we basically lost everything. But my boyfriend's amazing parents have let us stay in their house, and for the last really year and a half, and it has been such a blessing. We've been able to save money and get back right, because we don't only need to like save money to buy a house. Like, we lost all of our furniture, we lost clothes, we lost probably $1,000 worth of food, we lost all of our appliances. Like, the mold was growing in our kitchen cabinets, on everything. Like, everything that we owned, mold had grown on it. It was like an overnight thing. It was the craziest thing ever. So anyway, we basically have to start from square one, and I get asked all the time, when are we getting married? When are we getting engaged? When are we having kids? I just want to say, as a woman, it is okay to not want those things like automatically in your brain. I know I want to marry my boyfriend. I know he's the one I want to be with forever. I have no interest in ever talking to another man for the rest of my entire life, like even casually. You know, I have no interest. Before I met my boyfriend, I did not care if I got married. I never cared if I met anyone. That is something that was not on top of my mind. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to live life to the fullest, and for me that never looked like marriage or kids. I had a very traumatic childhood when looking back at it. Also, in the moment when I was a kid, I remember thinking like, I am not doing this. When I would look at my parents, like y'all know the whole story. I feel like I've talked about it so many times, but maybe there one day will be like a tell-all about, you know, what went down with my parents. But at the same time, I realized from a young age that marriage was never going to be my like top priority. And when I met my boyfriend, it was at a time that I was definitely open to dating someone, but I never thought I would actually like date anyone. And he has completely changed my life for the better. He's made me such a better person, and I'm so thankful for him. I would not be where I am without him, and he's the best. And so one day we will get married, but I'm the type of person, like, I don't want to jump into a marriage if I don't have my stuff figured out. And I know a lot of people say like, oh, well, you're never gonna have it fully figured out, but it's like, I feel like we are in a time and place in society where you don't have to jump into something that you're not ready to do. And so I feel like it's smart to have yourself figured out financially, you know, professionally, emotionally, even physically. Like, I'm not where I want to be. You know, I just want to have a little bit of that ball rolling before I do something that is so important as marriage, and I do take that seriously. And I think a lot of people just want to be married, and like that could not be me. Like, I feel like some people just want to find somebody that will marry them, and not all the time, but like if you're a girl and you don't think about marriage 24/7, it is not your top priority, just know that there is nothing wrong with you. You're gonna have people that are gonna make you feel like there's something wrong with you for not desiring that first, and there's nothing wrong with you. It is okay to want, you know, your own professional career above everything else. With that being said, I do love my boyfriend and he is the best person I've ever met. So I just want to make that very clear, and I will be marrying him one day. I know that for a fact, but I have no idea when. Like I don't think about that. What I think about is my business. And so with that being said, let me jump into Postworthy. So basically, like I said, we moved to Birmingham a few years ago and never really took advantage of the content that came with Birmingham. And I wish so badly I would have started posting Birmingham content sooner, but truly it was not until the beginning of this year in 2025 that I actually started posting vlogs of what we're doing in Birmingham. Like, yeah, you will see like some vlogs on here and some scattered throughout my Instagram and TikTok over the last few years of things that we would do in Birmingham. But for the most part, I didn't start doing like highlighting specific places in Birmingham until earlier this year. And it really started because we went to a restaurant and I posted a TikTok about it. And it was just basically what we were eating at that restaurant. I didn't have on any makeup in the video. It was very casual. I literally threw on a T-Pain song over the video. It was like, I took 5 minutes to edit it, and I was like, let me just like try something new. It was late at night when I did it, and so it was not anything that I thought twice of. Woke up the next morning, that video I think had like 50,000 views, and my videos do not get that many views. At the time, my videos were getting like 300 to 400 views. And so with that, I just want to note, whatever city you're in, just remember that TikTok is now a search engine, and a lot of people are looking at TikTok to see what they can do in these cities. And so that is why I think that video blew up. And so after that, it kind of just spiraled into me posting a lot more Birmingham content, not just food. I would highlight restaurants obviously, but coffee shops, boutiques, just things to do, activities. And I have been kind of posting that throughout the year, and my platform on TikTok has doubled. I've also gotten almost 2,000 new followers on Instagram, which I was at the same amount of followers on Instagram pretty much for like the last 5 years. I'm not joking. Like I could not get past like the 5,000 plus mark. And so now I'm almost at 7,000, and that's all really just happened in the last couple of months. And I know that may not seem like a lot, but like that is organic followers that I am getting just from posting these videos about Birmingham and like other things. I still am never gonna stop posting makeup and fashion videos, but just implementing more content about where I live has helped me so much. But with that being said, I have always had like a craving to live the life of a true content creator. I have friends that live in other cities like New York and LA, Atlanta, Nashville, Miami, Chicago, Austin, Dallas, and they get to go to these huge events that these brands will throw for them, and they get freebies, you know, get merch, they get photo ops, they get to do all of these fun things. And there's really not a lot like that here in Birmingham. Now, I will say, with that being said, I have been invited to so many different things in Birmingham since starting posting Birmingham videos, and I think it's because like the city is starting to see that we do have influencers here. There are tons of content creators, and I didn't even honestly know that until I started posting Birmingham content earlier this year. And so with that being said, I realized like earlier this year, I was like, I think I want to move. Like my boyfriend and I were talking about eventually moving to a different city, because I just feel like Birmingham did not have a lot to offer when it came to that. Like I know you have like professional growth and like emotional growth, like starting a family, like blah, 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 all that stuff that you can do here in Birmingham. But it was like, I want fast-paced lifestyle, if that makes sense. Like I love, you know, living a different life every day. I like having a routine, but I like having a routine that is built in with different opportunities. Like I said, the whole reason I do content is not because like I want it to be my full-time job or I want to make a ton of money from it. I just like cool opportunities. I like cool things. I like doing different things. I like to be able to say like, one day I'll get to tell my future daughter that, you know, I got to work with this brand. Like she may think that's cool. And so I really am all about that. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but I, at the time earlier this year, was like, I really want to move to a city where they have these things, because I really feel like this, I don't know, it's either you're either a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond, and I don't know which is better. And so but with that being said, I started getting invited to more and more things, and then with that I started getting followers from people in Birmingham, and they would ask me, hey, how are you getting invited to these restaurants or these places? How are they getting in contact with you? And then when I would personally go to these restaurants and these places, they would say like, okay, if you know of any other influencers that would be interested in this, like let us know because we want to work with a lot of people. And with that being said, I was like, let me think about that. What if we started having events in Birmingham where these restaurants and these businesses, they sponsor these events, and in turn, we have these influencers get to come. And another thing with that being said, there are so many influencers in Birmingham, like I mentioned, but there are some with huge followings, and then there are some with very small followings, from like 100 followers to like a couple million. We have all of it in Birmingham, and I'm sure they do in every city. And I personally have never thought that it's fair to only invite people with really huge followings to these events, because how are you supposed to grow? Like, a lot of times I get invited to these events and I'm shocked because I'm one of the smallest creators in the room, or I'll be in group messages and I'll be one of the people with the smallest followings. And I just think that I want to make something that is super inclusive to everyone, to allow people to have opportunities to create content, to network, to meet each other, basically like a content creator group. And I want everyone to be involved. I don't want there to be any exclusion. I'm very inclusive when it comes to that stuff. And I just think it should be like not a free for all, but like if you take content seriously, or if you want to build a career off of content creation, I think that you should have the ability to do so. So I decided to create Postworthy, which is where I am connecting local businesses, or any businesses, with local content creators in all of Alabama. I have people all throughout the state that want to be a part of this. And this kind of happened because I posted a video on TikTok. It was probably like 6 or 7 weeks ago now. And in that video, I said, what if we started having more events in Birmingham where we had, these businesses throw these events, and I will work with these businesses to get this going. And we basically have like a sign up to where anybody that is a content creator can come to these events. And I had literally hundreds of people message me after posting that video. The video like popped off, but it did not go viral. Like, I don't even think it got 10,000 views. And so I was so shocked, because in turn I also had dozens of businesses, from like car dealerships to realtors to attorneys to restaurants to bars. Everybody in Birmingham was like, hey, we want to talk with you about sponsoring this. And so I was like, okay, let's make this happen. I never thought about turning it into a business at first, but it was just getting to the point where I was having people say like, hey, can I help you with this event? And I was giving out my number to I probably gave out my number to 75 people in the span of a week. And so I just started getting text after text, like with ideas and people wanting to meet up with me and start meetings. And I was just so overwhelmed that I said, okay, let me try to do this by the book. And doing this by the book, what I mean by that is I want this to be legit. Like, I don't want these to be, last minute put together parties that people just feel like, oh, okay, that's gonna be the Alabama's version of a content creator event. No, I want to make this luxurious. I'm a bougie girl. I like nice things. I like things to look a certain way. I don't like what I don't like, and I like what I like, and I have always been like that, and I'm very picky. And so I want to make sure that all of these events are just inclusive for everyone, but also fun and aesthetic. And that's where I came up with the name Postworthy, because you are postworthy, you're worthy, and you're postworthy. Like, you are worthy of a post. And I want these businesses to know that they are also worthy of a post, like they are postworthy. And I want these events to be postworthy. Like, I want you to come here and say like, oh, this is a postworthy event. So I feel like I kind of made that name up in a way, but it essentially just, it summarizes what I'm trying to do. I want everything that I do to be aesthetic and post-worthy, but also fun and inclusive. And I want you to walk away from these things with friends. And I had my first unofficial event at Society Wellness and Skin Spa in Vestavia. If you haven't been there, it's amazing. Highly recommend Sierra. She's incredible. And so she was one of the first people to reach out to me. And that was before I even thought about starting a business. And so we had so much demand of people wanting to come to these events. And if you follow me on other socials, you've already seen everything from the Post and Pour event that we had. So basically we hosted a meetup where we had 150 people RSVP to come to this event, and we basically just had backdrops, photo ops. It was kind of like a mingling and network night. We had a dirty soda bar, we had a piercing studio come, I got my ear pierced, we had a hair pencil, we had a tooth gem place, and so I kind of walked out of there looking like a totally different person. So after that event, I left inspired and ready to go. And so my next event is coming up on September 20th, and if you live in Birmingham, even if you're not a content creator, you can still come to this event. It is going to be my first official event with my brand, called the Postworthy Tailgate. And basically, I didn't even know what I wanted it to look like at first. Like I didn't know if it was just gonna be like a meetup night or whatever, but we are turning this into a 5-hour-long tailgate. We're gonna have DJs, we're gonna have food catered, drinks are gonna be there for free. We have so many freebies, we have merch, swag, we have tons of liquor brands. I will have a link to the tickets in the description box below. And if you know anyone that lives in the whole state of Alabama or beyond that would be interested in this, basically it's going to be a way that you can come in, you get a ticket, and you're gonna get free drinks, free food. You're going to be able to take so many pictures and meet different business owners. Like you can talk to them one-on-one and say like, hey, I want to do a collab with you. Here's my information. Here are my socials. Also, if they are a business owner and they want to get their name out there, it is basically for creators to come in and post these brands on their social media to highlight these businesses. In exchange, these businesses are getting free influencer marketing. And so it's really like a win for everybody. Like these influencers are getting a chance to make post-worthy content and to go to these events, and it's going to be so fun. But also at the same time, these businesses are going to get so much exposure online. So I'm so excited about that. But yeah, that is post-worthy. That's what's going on there. And I would love if you could go follow me on Instagram on my post-worthy account. I will make that. I'm making a Facebook page this week too. I've been trying so hard to like get the name out or get the word out about this because I'm just one person, and obviously like I've had so many people offer help, but this is like one of those things where I've really thought about it, and the more people you have involved, the more like, hey, is it cool if I do this? Hey, what do you think about this? Like for now, for the time being, I don't really want to have to, factor in everyone's opinions. Not that those opinions don't matter, but it's more so like I want to make sure that this is the way that I want to go with my business, since this could be something that, could turn into something. It could turn into something big, and hopefully one day I will look back on this video right here and be like, oh, now I'm on Forbes, like I just think that would be really cool. And I've always had really big dreams. I have just never been interested in one single thing. I've always been interested in literally everything. I am passionate about so many things. I was the person that changed my major 10 times in college. I have a whole video on that on here too. I have never known what I wanted to do with my life. And so I am one of those people that just goes with the flow, in a sense of I'm a type A person, but also have developed a type B personality throughout the years, because I used to focus so much on every single thing being perfect that I never got anything done. I never took risks. And actually I saw this video where this guy on TikTok, he's the guy that's like, how old were you when you became a millionaire? And he asked this lady like what she did or whatever. I don't remember who she was, but I remember what she said. And she was like, a lot of the times type A people end up working for type B people, because the type A people can never make a decision. They never actually start anything because they want everything to be perfect. They want to have, a certain amount of money saved up. They want their business to look a certain way. And so they never start it because they wait on the right moment, versus type B people just start it and just do it. And so I literally don't even have a business bank account set up yet. I am like literally figuring this out day by day. I started my LLC like 2.5 weeks ago, and I'm just asking a bunch of questions to a bunch of people that I have met in Birmingham, and I'm so thankful that so many people have been helpful. But this is one of those things where I literally don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be great, and we're gonna do this together, and I'm so excited about it. So I don't want this video to be too long. I could do like a part B and C and D and E and F of this and just kind of give you guys some more updates of my life. But basically I wanted to take the time to kind of talk about what I'm doing professionally, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really honored that so many people are excited. So if you want to come to the Post-worthy tailgate, please buy a ticket. I promise you're gonna walk away with more than what you pay. And also right now in 13 minutes, I have a call with a very exciting brand, a big brand, like a household name brand that is going to be a sponsor. And I'm really excited because they're still technically like a small business, but they have been on some familiar faces. So that's a little hint there. Let me know if you guys have like any specific questions that you would like for me to answer. I'm just really honored and excited about where this is going. I love posting on YouTube. I want to bring these videos back. Let me know if you want more like get ready with me's, just chit chat videos, vlogs. Like what do you want to see in Birmingham? I feel like I look really oily, but I think it's just the lighting. Also, I'm filming with my phone because my camera is, she's just having a time. I don't know what's going on with her, but I need a new camera. So if you have suggestions on a good vlogging camera, let me know. The microphone is really the problem. It's not the quality of the camera, is the mic. So I need a camera that has like an attachable mic. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye guys.